Wow, are we sounding a little different today?
I know, I noticed we decided to kind of splurge a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Check out this great new gear.
Yeah. Now accepting sponsors because I can't afford everything. Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Scott, also known by Toaden, and this is Media Lures Sandwich. You can find me at Toaden.com, and you could be listening to this on Pod Bros, Podbean, MediaLuresSandwich.com, YouTube.com/ToadenK, and with me is CrazyMark.com.
Hey out
Crazy
there.
Mark.
What up?
And William, which is
Hello.
always all about William.
Exactly.
And
I gotta make it narcissistic somehow. I'm autistic, so.
So this episode we're going to talk about a few different things, but I'm going to smile. Ding! But there's other dings coming up because I interviewed this guy at Trauma Dance Detroit. We talked about that last week.
Yep.
And I interviewed an actor from one of the movies that they were promoting, which is premiering in Detroit September 30th, and they're actually doing a tour. So if you look up Hectic Knife, you could find more about that.
And you're talking about Peter Lifton now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The director and producer.
No, he did not direct it.
He didn't direct. Oh.
No. His partner directed it.
Straight out of Livonia.
Yep. Well, we'll hear more about that in the interview. Let's.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter is the actor, and he also did some, if not most, of the music. So, warning: there's some bleepage coming up.
Lots of bleepage.
Yeah.
I tried to keep at least this version, or the main version, because there's a director's cut version as well. So if you're watching that, cool. If not, it might not be up yet, or we could. More details to come, but eventually the director's cut will be available somehow. But if it's not the director's cut, even if it is, it's still going to be bleeping because I tried to keep the normal version as family friendly as possible. There's no swearing in this because I bleeped it all. So with that already said, let's go ahead and check out this interview. All right, I'm here at Trauma Dance Detroit with Hectic Knife, promoting the movie Hectic Knife. What is Hectic Knife?
Hectic Knife is a movie where we intersect no less than 37 different intertranscendental realities, bringing them home into your home where you converse with your family and you invert everything. Your family is gone.
So this movie already premiered. Tell us about that.
It premiered in New York and everybody had a good time and everybody was drunk. But that's different. That's New York premiere. I'm talking about the Michigan premiere, and we're going to be here in Michigan premiering it with you, Scott, Toaden, and we're trying to, everybody's reality needs to be intersected, and it's no joke.
Is there like a national premiere? Where can anyone else see this?
If you want to see Hectic Knife right now, you go to trauma.watch.com, or is it watch.trauma.com, and you can watch Hectic Knife. It's a trauma movie now, but independent of that, you come into Detroit and you watch it with Scott from Toaden. I think it's watch.trauma.com if you want to watch it. If you want to watch it with Hectic Knife and the director and Scott Toaden, come to Michigan in October.
So you mentioned Trauma. So this is a total Trauma movie. Like, Trauma's still around?
Dude, Trauma's around. Trauma is up your We've made this movie. It took us 6 years. It shouldn't take 6 years, but we both work for a living. He works in video, I work in music. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We made the movie, and it's done, and Trauma f***ing loves it, and they put it out, and we're here. If you want to watch it, go to watch that whatever the fuck I said earlier. If you don't want to watch it on the internet, then come and hang out with us in person and watch it, because October is Hectic Knife Month. I've officially declared.
So you make music. Is your music in this movie then?
Well, yes. I scored the entire film. I did a fair amount of the sound design. I did some of the Foley, and I did the final audio mix.
That's amazing. So you say majority of the crew is just two people.
It's me and this other who lives in Livonia, Michigan. He lives in Livonia, And yes, it's basically me and him. We had some help, but it's primarily me and this other from Livonia, Michigan.
That's absolutely amazing. And then Troma picked it up and is disputing it. Distribution, excuse me.
Yes, it needs to be known. Anybody who has finished a film, it doesn't matter if it's a short film, it doesn't matter if it's a feature length. If you want to submit your film to Troma, you can do that on their website. It's basic. Anybody can do it. We did it, and we had some additional help because Hectic Knife is not just an average movie, and it's not just a short film. It's a real You watch it, and you'll know immediately it's a real Scott, right?
Scott, whatever.
Scott Toaden, you will watch it, and you will know immediately is a real and I will convert you into becoming part of the Hectic Knife camp because I want you to live there forever with me. And yes, you watch it. Yeah, anybody can submit a film to them. They watched ours and they liked it, and it's a Troma movie. It's going to be coming out in DVD or Blu-ray, I presume, inside of the next 90 days. Independent of that, we're taking it on a tour. It's going from New York City down to Hope, Arkansas, and it's going back up to New York City. Everywhere along the way.
So what do you think about this Peter Lichten guy? You're laughing. Come on, Will. Tell us, what do you think? Here, check it out. That'll help you out there.
Yeah, that CD is actually really good. He gave that to me as a promo item. I don't think it officially was released yet. I mean, you could find him on his website. Not sure what his website is, but if you look up his name, Peter Litvin, you should be able to find him. I mean, if you look up that Troma site, watch.troma.com, you see Hectic Knife as one of their...
Wasn't it the headline one?
Yeah. I mean, it was a rotating scroll, but it was the first one that was up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I noticed it was the first one that was up. Yep.
That was way cool how he's able to submit to Troma and get it featured. Now he's traveling all over the country, and he said, what was he? He's going to Hope, Arkansas?
He's traveling. I forgot that... I didn't know Troma did that. To be able to submit... I have so many old products I wish I submitted to Troma. I mean, now Troma's not a huge company, but they're known, and it's another avenue.
But I mean, what really interests me here is that how can he cram 37 different transcendental realities into one movie? How could that be done?
Might be why it took 6 years.
Might be.
Hectic Knife. From the studios that brought you The Toxic Avenger.
You know, they say that in the thing, but it wasn't the Troma Studios. It was just him and his partner and the people that helped them out. And then Troma, they submitted to Troma afterwards. So it's technically only... I kept mispronouncing the word in the interview.
Distributed by Troma.
There we go. That's what it sounds like to me. So it's brought to you by them, but it's not really from their studios because him and his buddy, they took 6 years. And I mean, I'm sure the movie is not family friendly, but that's beside the point. This is something that they're very passionate about and spend that 6 years working on.
Because it's gonzo splatterific.
Is that what it says in the
That's
flyer?
what it says, gonzo splatterific. An awesome new movie from the studio that brought you The Toxic Avenger. That's what it says here. Come on.
Yeah. I'm just still surprised that you could submit to them.
That is a good thing to know.
Anyone can submit to them, and we were talking about that last week, submitting to film festivals, but submitting to Troma and to studios. You can do that too. I mean, I don't keep my hopes up, but what's the worst going to happen? They say no? Especially an old studio like Troma. I mean, I was so surprised they're around. Like, I didn't know until I interviewed Terrence from Troma Dance Detroit that Troma was really still doing stuff. Because I just thought it was the whole film festival there was inspired by Troma. I didn't realize that it was Troma sanctioned, that they're still around, they're still doing stuff. It's kind of like a Netflix site right now, but it's off of their own genre, it's off of their own ideas and creativity, which is the bomb, man. I mean, come on. After your Toxic Avengers and any more Toxic Avengers that could happen. Kubuchi, don't.
What's it, Dolphin Boy?
There's Dolphin Boy, and there's something. A guy off. Oh, I'm wearing my Trauma Dance
Look at this.
shirt.
Oh, there you go.
The one guy, I can't even pronounce his name. Something New York's NYPD cop.
But it's a center for creativity, and you just
It
figure
is.
that even more film, even more, publication of any sorts, would be coming out of there,
It reminds me of like a tight knit fan base, because people that know Trauma love Trauma. I had a roommate that, he was watching Nukem High, he was watching all this stuff, and so submitting a video, or a movie, and being involved with something that already has an audience, like us being on Pod Bros. Pod Bros already has an audience, and I really hope that audience likes us. And if you like the way we sound, let me put a little more bass in this. Hey, if you like the way I sound, why don't you take a look the way I look? Take a look at the way I look on YouTube.
Suave.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
I'm turning.
very suave.
Yeah, let me mess this up a couple more times, and we'll see how
Throw
that
in some
looks.
delay in there, but no, it's
Now you're going to go back and edit it and realize you screwed that whole thing up by messing with the thing.
Oh, I only turned the bass up a little bit.
and then it's got the tubular sound effect.
Yeah, it'll go to Dr. Toad later on.
There you go. but yeah, having all these films come out of Trauma, all this creativity, just exploding out of there like a volcano, like lava flowing down a mountain, eating up all the other kind of film and variety. I mean, I've been to the website. It's crazy. I love it. It's one of those things where Crazy Mark would say, "Man, I'm just going to go live there," But as far as things go, if you can submit to Trauma every year, and if they can consider you, if you've got something creative, why not give it a shot? If you sit around saying, maybe I'll do it next year, maybe I'll do it the year after that, I'm not good enough. Believe you me, you just might be good enough, so give it a shot.
Right, and Peter uses, not only to display his acting skills and that horrible blonde wig.
Yeah.
But he said that some of his music, that he composed the music, and we have his promo CD here, which I don't know when that's coming out. I'm sure if you look up Peter, what's his? I just want to call him Hectic Knife, because that's the way he introduced himself, because he really wants to, because the movie's Hectic Knife.
Peter
Litvin. So if you look up Peter Litvin and you find his music, it is actually really good. I used one of his songs in the video where I did the event video of Trauma Dance, and I do have permission. I'm going to be using his songs again for future events. So that's another thing that's really cool when you work with local artists. You can collab on things like that.
Yeah.
The art on this is sweet.
And he is pretty professional. Like, when I talked to him in the interview, he gave me permission. And I don't know if you noticed, but he wasn't exactly of sober mind. So he emailed me and was like, hey, look, you said you want to use my music. Can you tell me more about this? And you can't just say, I just want to use your music in a video, because you got to approach it like if you're talking to another studio, because there's people out there that make music that are completely cool with students using it, but once professionals want to use it for commercial purposes, they want you to pay because you're making money off of these commercials. So I told them exactly, hey, look, this is only being funded like this, it's being used like this is the way the video looks, and this is my purposes for it. Very straight, very to the point. And he was like, look, a couple other people asked. That's the most, straightforward and in-depth information I got. And that's what you want. Yeah. You could probably look at what other composers are asking for, what kind of information. Just tell people that straightforward, and they'll usually are impressed by, I want to say acting like a professional, but technically if you do anything that can potentially get you paid, or for a paid gig, or I never know what that word professional means. I just don't know.
Well, I took a photography class earlier this year, and my teacher actually said, you are a professional the second you start making money doing whatever you're doing.
Okay.
That's the way he views it.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, when you start pocketing change, pocketing the greenback dollar, you know it's time to get the ad out and let people know, hey, I'm not for free, which goes back to another episode we did, working for free.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that? That was number 2, number 3?
Number...
That could be 2.
No,
that...
it was 3 because it was the episode I wasn't here.
But yeah, go check it out there.
Yeah.
We touched on it a few times, though, too. We touched on it the following week as well.
But we had a whole... you guys had a whole podcast. It was the one where I couldn't get the day off for work, which is going to probably be the next episode, too.
Okay.
Yep.
So, just dancing on that subject real quick. When did you know it was time to stop working for free, Will?
The second people started asking me to do work. Instead of me going to them and going, hey, can I take pictures of you and put it, just for my portfolio and you'll have a copy. It started at PenguinCon and it moved on to other conventions. I had people coming to me and going, how much do you charge, or can you shoot my pictures? And then at that point I knew I had to get a business plan and everything set up.
Right on. Will.
When people ask me that, I tell them or give them rough estimates, and they go, let me get back to you. Or I get can I just buy you lunch?
Yeah.
The problem with buying me lunch is that it doesn't fix my equipment when I need new equipment. Like when an XLR breaks. Now, if you taught me how to solder and create new XLR wires, cords, depending how on terminology you are. Some people yell at me if I call an XLR wire a wire. They're like, it's a cord. Or it's a cable. Excuse me. I'm sure someone's just shouting at me. If you just shouted cable at your headphones or your computer, whatever you watch me on, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm curious. I'm curious because there are people out there. Just like what we're looking into right now, what's lighting us up, those aren't light bulbs. Those are lamps.
Yes. Big difference between light bulb and lamps.
But when you're independent, I gotta bring this back to Hack Knife. Yes. They're independent. They might not even know these things. They just did it. They did it.
But regarding trauma again, when you take a look at the website, I mean, there's sometimes a classification for that, and I hope no one gets mad at Crazy Mark for saying this, but it would be cult camp. Mm-hmm. So, in other words, if you're going to submit a love story, make sure that it's cult camp kind of love story. And if you have a premise to something, if you have an outline, a story, make sure it's cult camp. Go to that website and check out any kind of...
I would say don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
No,
don't limit yourself. I know if that's the audience that you're only going for, it makes sense, but I don't want to limit myself at all. Like if I was a rapper, it would be great to get the juggalos to all be behind me, because that's kind of the way I'm viewing Trauma, their fan base. It kind of reminds me of the juggalos. Maybe not as tight, maybe not as prominent. For you that don't know what juggalos are, let's just say it's a very big fan base of a type of rap that's mostly centered around ICP and a couple other artists, ABK, Anybody Killer, which is the same person, Twisted, Lazy Dead Homie.
You go back to Carnival of
Vanilla
Carnage
Ice,
and that kind of thing. It kind of gives you an idea what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what kind of reminds me of. But I'd say don't. I mean, like, if you could get into that market, cool. But don't just be like, I want to make prank videos. I'm going to make my prank videos look like Ed Bassmaster because he got a series on CMT and I want to go for his fan base, so I'm going to make it like his. No, be yourself.
You did, definitely.
And by the way, I don't know if anyone knows, but Ed Bassmaster did announce there will not be a second season of his prank show on CMT, and he said he will not do another TV series unless he owns everything and has complete control, which is why so many YouTubers aren't on TV. But that's, again, beside the point. Like, these guys ain't going that route. This is just a single movie. But, just to be at the point where you consider... Well, what would you think if someone's like, hey, look, I really like your blog and photos. Let's do a reality show.
Probably all on YouTube, so I have all the control. No, my reality show would be boring. I don't have that interesting of a life. If I'm not at one job, I'm at another.
There's got to be something in there. We'll throw in a fictional element, abduction by aliens, in between jobs, you're off and, cruising the galaxy or something.
Sounds something Crazy Mark would be into, though.
But yeah, just us taking the time, to do this. It is very time consuming to do a, so if I did a full length movie or even the short movies I did, you really pour a lot into this. That's why I thank you guys so much for coming out and doing this with me, because we really put a lot into this.
You ever want to see very nice people act very violently, do a 48-hour film competition in the beating sun? Then somebody like me, who's a very nice and sweet guy, might threaten to beat somebody up with a boom mic.
Well, you get that too when you work with people very closely. But we did
that very same thing.
You threatened me that weekend. You did.
What's this? You have 48-hour?
Well, that was a couple of years ago. We used to do 48-hour competitions.
Yeah,
the weekend competitions. Yeah. There was one where we're out in the hot sun, and
I was holding a boom mic.
Really smart person gave me a line of dialogue, and I couldn't say it right.
No.
So he threatened to beat me with the boom pole.
Oh, man. No.
Oh, it would have had his Rode NTG2. That's just showing you how much money I was going to beat him with.
I'll tell you what.
Hopefully I have a new Rode boom pole soon, too. But more about that when that arrives.
Beating each other up with a boom pole, okay, fine. That's all well and good.
All right, so to
he
sum
didn't
up...
get a line wrong after that.
No, I didn't.
Violence on the set.
All right, Crazy Mark, take us out. What's the sum up? What did we talk about today?
Okay, today basically it was all about Trauma Dance and our good guest, Peter Lifkin, regarding all about submitting all those great videos that you create to a company, to a production place or whatever, My thought, again, is research this group or research whoever you're submitting to, just to make sure that you're just not spinning your wheels, shotgunning all sorts of your own creations out to Never Land. Research your studio before you submit, and like what happened to Hectic Knife, success through Trauma Studios, through Trauma Dance, and otherwise, again, go to watch.trauma.com and Podbros.
Yep. Podbros, we're on Podbros. You can look us up, Media Layer Sandwich, and look up all the other great shows there. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/ToadenK. You can also find Mark at crazymark.com, William at allaboutwilliam.com. And thank you very much for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, follow, whatever you're doing on your email. Remember, this is audio and video based, so if you're only listening to us, you could also watch us. If you're watching us and you want to only listen to us, maybe you want to save some battery on your phone, you can do that too. So thank you for watching, listening. Hope you enjoyed our discussion.
See ya.